What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I really want to just be unique in itself, and it's not going to be like previous videos I made. I just want to put that as a disclaimer. One of the saddest things that I am seeing right now in our culture is we're just slowly becoming slaves to this system of instant gratification, of our attention span just getting absolutely destroyed by technology, and these social networking engineers and these companies, that are making programs and software that are specifically targeted to keep us in this steady loop of unconsciousness. And I think now we're beginning to see some of these repercussions and these consequences of what happens when you have an entire society that you've placed in this chasm of endless entertainment and endless dopamine, to the point now where we're so dependent on it, we've lost touch with reality. I'm just going to use social media as an example, but it's like, why is it that, my culture now, why is it that we're so dependent on other people to live a meaningful life? I'm talking not just about like our family and friends. Like, these are strangers on the internet, dude. We'll go our life and we're going to look back at this fictitious relationship that we had with people that we don't even really care about, we're probably never going to meet, or maybe at one point was in our life and then out at another time. Like, why is it that we're giving our attention and we're giving this precious energy? Like, why are we giving this part of ourselves to something that, quite frankly, it is not deserving of our focus? This last weekend, man, I was scrolling through social media and I liked some motivational thing for men. I don't fucking know. And all of a sudden, this entrepreneurial guy shows up on my feed. He's literally all over my feed now. I don't know what I've done, but and here I am, I was on my phone for an hour just watching clips, just 15-20 second clips of this guy just going through. And the crazy thing is I didn't even agree with a majority of what this self-proclaimed entrepreneurial men's self-help guru dude was even saying. But here I am, so locked in, I'm sucked into this. And at the end of it, did I feel any better? Absolutely not. Was I inspired? No. If anything, I was upset and frustrated with myself that I had given, I just lost an hour of my time. And anyway, so here I am with my phone in my hand, having just watched this, and I just was like, what is it going to take to divorce ourselves completely from this pull of modern day technology? Because I'll be the first person to say, dude, I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to discipline myself and think that I can just be on my phone nonchalantly. If you wake up and the first thing that you do is you check your notifications, you check your phone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, your day is already ruined. At that point, you're no longer going to be the one that is in control over your stupid phone. I call it extended adolescence. We get into our 20s or 30s, and we have the attention span and we have the brain capacity as a 12-year-old. So we're actually, scientists are doing more research about this, but we're actually seeing a de-evolution of our brains and babies that are being born because we are destroying the human psyche, man. And I'm afraid. I'm afraid that at one point a man or woman is going to rise to the platform is paving the way for discipline and a restoration of masculinity and a restoration of true femininity. I'm afraid that there's going to be people that are going to rise up within these positions in these next few years that are going to get shut down because of this black cloud, man, of what our culture is just becoming. And so I just want to say, man, while you have time, while you have the revelation of some of these, things that are just sabotage your attention span, man. And not only do they sabotage your attention span, it clouds your mind of figuring out what actually matters in your life. And I talked about this in a previous video of mimetic desire, which is basically the desire of what other people want. So, you know, you have a culture now that is just, we want what everyone else wants. We've lost touch of things that actually make us us. There's some dumb things, dude, that I like to do. Like, I have this little book called The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, and every night before I go to bed, like, I just like read it, and like, dude, I love this book. I like take pictures of it, and like, it's so inspirational. But like, dude, but why is it that I feel almost a hesitation to show people that like this book is cool? It fascinates me, and I'm starting to realize, like, well, it's because it's not glamorous, it's not bright and shiny. The simplicity of it is what makes it really beautiful. I'm afraid we've been disillusioned with thinking that in order to live like a fulfilled, meaningful life, that we have to have all these extraneous things in our possession, and it's a lot simpler than that. Anyways, I realize this is kind of all over the place. I've got two things going here: attention span, and then this meaninglessness that's found in things that don't really matter. But and it's like, why in the first place, man, are we so fixated with consuming content, of watching other people live their lives done at the expense of our own? You would think that this frustrates a lot of people, but it doesn't. We're a generation that consumes the most content, does the least with it, and then we showcase to the world that we've, you know, done it all, when in reality, like, we've really don't have much to show for ourselves. And that is a almost non-existent pill that we can swallow, because in our culture, everyone can be in the limelight, everyone can have the gold medal now. It's like we give this shit out like it's free candy at a children's playground, you know? And it's not good, dude. It undermines the process, the suffering that one must go through to have a heart and a mind that has been refined by lessons that you can only learn when you're in the fire, and when you're in that voluntary place of suffering and introspection. It's not one of those things, like, this is not one of those things that you can go through a McDonald's drive-through and just order wisdom and revelation, dude. My hope is that you can begin to see some of these things that are just stripping that power away, that life sap from your soul. A lot of people that you're like, oh, I don't have time to journal, I don't have time to read, I don't have time to meditate, but you're making time to watch Netflix, you're making time to catch up with celebrity gossip, to stalk your ex's Instagram account. Like, why is it that you have time for these things, but you don't have time to love yourself and to invest in this? Like, that's the most important thing, man. Everything else is secondary. In fact, you begin to realize, like, so much of this outside world is just fucking noise. It doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things. How can one expect to make meaningful decisions in your life when you're allowing your attention span to be day in and day out sabotaged by technology? It's like you're cheating on the goddess of love that is going to nurture your soul and is going to feed you and is going to give you that nice shoulder massage after a long day. It's like you're cheating on that with the siren, you know? It's like that thing that lures you away, and then before you know it, you're just done, dude. You're gone. Naturally, if we're being honest with ourselves, we avoid some of this because of fear of ourselves, of what might come up when we decide to put our phone on airplane mode, when we decide to open a blank journal and have a pen in our hand with 1,000 running thoughts. Inner work requires a certain level of confrontation that is not comfortable by any means. Yes, it's glorious after the fact, but when you're going through it, when you're voluntarily putting yourself in a dark place, it's scary, because you're realizing, like, you're not, as much as you'd like to think that you are this, you know, great guy or great girl, it's when you're alone with yourself, man, it's really hard to lie to yourself. And I just want to encourage you that having that fear when you are putting yourself in that voluntary place of suffering and taking inventory is scary, and that's okay. Still do it, and still push through it, and continue to do it, and continue to make a lifestyle habit of showing up every day to that secret place, that place that you have reserved for you to unlock trauma and to write down emotion and to meditate maybe you don't feel anything at first, and maybe you don't get all the answers that you need right at the time, but if you make a habit out of showing up and putting in the work, I promise you, give it 6 months and I'll give you your money back. If you're not changed. I'm not selling anything, obviously, but I'm just saying it works. It absolutely works. Here's an undeniable truth, dude. It's like distraction, like it does a good job. Like, yeah, it can be fun. It can be fun to waste time. There's no denying that. It's not necessary. Like, distraction is not necessarily this evil thing, but it's evil because it's like this sedative that it slowly creeps in and breaks down your mind, your body, your will, your emotions. It's like, think of like you get a call from your doctor and he is going to tell you that you've got cancer, and you're expecting this call and you're not really sure what he's going to say, but anyway, he goes to call you and you're like, yo, hold up, doc, I'm playing Call of Duty with the boys. I'm just gonna have to place you on a hold, and you place that on hold for like an indefinite amount of time. It's putting off things that you know that you need to do because you're just afraid. Understand this relationship between consumption and manifestation. You take a bodybuilder, for example, and they're not going to materialize this incredibly strong, good-looking body while they're eating McDonald's and Crunchwrap Supremes, right? Like, they're not going to get to that physique level. In the same way, I think a lot of people are disappointed and discouraged because they're not manifesting their ideal life, because their brain, dude, is just completely zapped with an excess of information and distraction, and maybe even the content that they're consuming is good, like it's actually good, but because there's this unregulated stream going through their brain at all times, it leaves them in a state of analysis paralysis, of this inability to make meaningful decisions, do something with that information. They always feel like they have to be taking in more information, more content, more this or that, but the output is this when the input is like this. And so I want to say, if you can, make your input be like this, and the potential for your output is boundless. Like, you're going to be able to produce and manifest whatever it is that you want. Like, that's the truth. So I'll end with this, but anyways, love you guys. Hope this video helps, and see you all in the next video.